Hello, friends. My, how things have changed in just a week or so. Oh my gosh, everything is just popping out here. I think it's officially spring, and I think that if we blink too quick, we'll miss something. So while there was a couple really gorgeous things going on, I wanted to show you with the good, there's also a lot of mess going on, so don't look too close. But as we walk in the back gate here, I've got my tulips that are really starting to fizzle out now, but they were looking gorgeous. This is the cakewalk mix from Color Blends. So while the purple ones are starting to fade out, now the yellow and the cream colored ones are picking up where they left off. And I did train my Benjamin Britten rose. I was talking about a couple videos ago. So I used cup hooks to do that. I tried a lot of no damage options. And for me, this is something that I was comfortable doing. Things like this I have done many, many times before with training roses and vines. This is something I was comfortable doing. And if the rose dies or I change my mind and I don't want it sometime, it's as easy as just filling a little hole with a little vinyl filler and painting it. It's really no big deal. I will show you up close. I'll tiptoe through my tulips here to show you just what one of them looks like. So I have these really spaced out, if I can find one. It's like a little vinyl coated cup hook. And what I did was I just used my drill, screwed a screw in to make kind of a pilot hole. I backed that screw out. Then I just went ahead and twisted the cup hook in. And you can see there's plenty of wiggle room here. I have the opening facing down. So this is going to be wonderful. And like I said, I don't have a million of them. They're spaced out just to secure the canes, and I'm really happy about it. This is butted up and it's going to be beautiful. I'm sorry for the harsh sun right now, but this is the time that I had to come out here. Look at all these gorgeous tulips. And the sprinter boxwood hedge is looking outstanding this year. You can see the difference in the growth on this side. These have filled in a little bit faster. You can see my tulips are coming up a little bit quicker than on this side because this side gets a little bit less sun. So you can just see kind of the difference there, how these tulips are a little bit behind in their bloom. And then I'm really excited. This is my Royal Raindrops. Let me get up in here close. Crabapple tree. And it is looking absolutely stunningly gorgeous. Absolutely wonderful. Love it, love it, love it. It is just the most beautiful pinky magenta color, and I'm happy to see it really starting to bulk up and fill in. And it's starting to look like a nursery around here a little bit. Now this was a splurge for me. It really was. I got these two spiral boxwood. They are Green Mountain. I have looked at these year after year after year, and this year I said, I'm definitely getting them. So I grabbed them. They were an investment and something that I will prune on and keep and maintain and love for many, many, many years. So those did magically somehow jump into my cart the other day when I went shopping. And I've got the two trees here that I'm going to plant for Arbor Day at my kids' school. That's a dogwood and a crabapple. I've got my sweet peas all planted now. I've got little pieces of twine on here, as you can see, just to help guide them in the right direction. Because with sweet peas, you can see they have these little tendrils that grab onto things. So an obelisk like that, that's thinner wire, and even this willow one, I have some growing up that, they'll be able to find their way up something like that with like bamboo canes. But with something like this, they need to be able to cling on. So the twine, I'll just add little pieces of it as it starts to grow. Eventually, it'll just start to grow onto itself or grab onto the rose and find its way. But just to get it going, I did that. I've got the fountains going now. I've got some things that I have covered up here, some echinacea that I wanted to protect because I saw some bunnies peeking around. My clematis is filling in. I also have a rose on there. Little hostas from my parents' garden are all popping back in and around. Got my rhubarb here. This is going on its third year. I put some muscari in there too. My bulbs are a little bit late in showing because I planted them a little extra late this year, and that's okay. I've been getting out with the fertilizer. I just put my rose tone out for my roses and just getting things spring ready. I brought my fig out the other day. My fig is starting to leaf out. I keep this in just the unheated shed over the winter. I didn't bring it in the greenhouse. I just made sure that it didn't dry completely out. I think I watered it twice over the season, and it's starting to leaf out. And you can see here I planted a beautiful Callaway crabapple at the arbor here. I'm really trying to make up for the tree that we lost. And I did put, you know, consideration into placement. I wanted more trees around the perimeter of the garden. I didn't want to plunk one right in the center again. We're thinking about putting a pond in there, maybe closer to the end of summer, early fall, because we're working on other projects. And you remember how I told you that I'm thinking of getting rid of these beds, even though they were newly laid out last year from my previous design. I knew I had a whole other vision in mind. And yes, these are all plants I need to plant that have kind of been sitting here over winter, huddled together. I didn't really lose any of them. They all have growth showing. But you can see I've got some sprinter boxwoods here because I'm going to be doing something else in this space. And I'm going to give these raised beds to my parents. And Mark and I have been busy. We have been very, very busy. Look at it, you guys. Doesn't it look so good? We are in the leveling and getting everything kind of situated stage, but this is really what I had in mind. When we put the greenhouse in, my whole kind of thought process changed, and I never really liked how disjointed the greenhouse seemed from my vegetable garden. It just felt like it was in no man's land. And I really wish that I would have put it here last year, but I don't know why. I guess I was kind of just committed to making the driveway garden work. But this area gets great light for right now. Lighting will change, of course. You'll notice I moved my Japanese maple. This is Bloodgood Japanese maple. And it was about where this obelisk is. And it was way too close to my October Glory maple. So they were starting to compete and I knew better when I planted it. But you know how when you plant things and they're smaller, you're really seeing them in that small state, and you really have to trust those numbers, the mature numbers, because it will happen if we're lucky. So I dug up this Japanese maple. I was very, very careful to get as much of the roots as I could. Of course, it's been in the 80s now in April in New Jersey, so I was not expecting that. But I've come out here every day babying this. I treated it like I was planting a brand new tree, and I gave it the Espoma biotone. My whole garden smells like Espoma right now. It's that time of the year, and I'm just gonna make sure it has good water every day. It's been here for maybe 5 days now, and I'm not seeing any kind of leaf curl or leaf dropping, so I'm really happy so far. I think that we're gonna maybe get through this unscathed, because I went ahead and I made sure that root ball was huge when I dug it. It took me a long time to get out, and I made sure to fill the hole with water. That's one thing. If you're transplanting, I like to always fill my hole with water and make sure the hole is nice and saturated. I'll be transferring over as much soil as possible from these raised beds, but I do have delivery coming from Espoma with some more of their raised bed mix. The obelisk was about where the Japanese maple is, and I kind of switched places there. And then the fountain was kind of in the back corner too. It was always kind of unappreciated. Now it is the center of attention. It's the centerpiece. I love it here. It's just so good. I've already sat on the bench a couple times. The bench was over this way. I'm just very, very happy with it. You can see that there's some soil in the raised beds here, and those are containers that had unused potting mix, and I dumped that right in the bottom there. I am not wasting a thing. I'll recharge the soil with the biotone or garden tone and get everything ready for planting. But I just think this whole layout looks so much better, And then I'm gonna do, I'm gonna trim out like a large square pad and then put gravel in this area. But then I'm gonna leave just mulched soil area here and then on this side and then in the back as well. So just kind of like a square platform surrounding with the gravel. And then I'm planning on putting, I know this is a lot of information, I'm sorry, planning on putting my dahlias along the greenhouse this year. That's what I'm thinking. And then I've got a beautiful mass of hostas that grow along the shed here. So yeah, a lot of work, but I'm really happy with it. I kept kind of putting it off and thinking, oh, maybe I'll just settle with the way things are. And I'm so glad I did not continue to wait. Really, I was sitting out on the bench and one day I said, you know what? I've thought about it long enough. Let me start moving. I grabbed a shovel. I started digging up that Japanese maple and it really just got the wheels in motion. Then the raised beds, you know, we bought the raised beds last year from Gardener Supply company. These are the These are the copper capped raised beds. And they are lovely, beautiful cedar, but we did not have it in budget to get new raised beds. And the size that I wanted was difficult for me to find. These are 4x4. They're 2 inches thick and they're Douglas fir. They're 10 inches high. Mark made these for me. We picked up the lumber and then he got some brackets there. The Douglas fir is a great option and it was much more affordable for us to build these than to purchase them in a kit and just go that route again. But it is very warm. It's 86 right now. So I was just out watering everything that I could. It is very hot in the greenhouse right now. Planning to put this Cherokee Brave dogwood in this area somewhere. Hopefully that might change. It's marinating. I'm thinking about it. But to have the shade over the greenhouse from the trees in summer is really wonderful. I've got vents in the roof that automatically open. I've got the vent in the back that automatically opens and a screen in the door. I do add a couple little supplemental fans here and there, but to have another canopy of a beautiful dogwood, a native dogwood would be terrific. And I've got my October Glory maple back there that provides great shade. And then my neighbor's maple. I'm not sure what variety it is. This is where we're at now. This side is looking very tired, very dry, very much in need of a makeover. I haven't really showed you out front much because much of the same. I have some tulips and daffodils and things out there, but I'm trying to really focus on one thing at a time. And then in this space, I plan on, I showed you I have some Sprinter boxwoods. I plan on maybe making like a couple square boxwood sections, maybe 4, I don't know, or rectangles or some kind of boxwood area, and then plant maybe cutting garden type flowers inside of that. That's what I'm thinking anyway. It's really spring and it's really looking like it. This view I've just been super pleased with. Look how sweet this is. This little hellebore decided to hang its face down right in front of my little bunny, which I think is adorable. And just the way the light is bouncing off of everything. Oh, I am so happy with it all. That's my update for now. Trying to get more consistent with showing you guys things as they go along. We should be getting the beds together, and maybe in the next video I'll be able to show you some things planted in them. My fingers are crossed. We're looking at cooler temperatures coming here, and that's when I really like to get out and garden. When it is brutally hot out, I don't want to be out. You can hear my air is running. It's warm, very warm. And don't forget to wear your SPF or your hats and all your things. Very, very important, because 5 minutes can turn into an hour out here, and you don't want to have any problems with the skin cancer. Take it from me, and I'm doing great on that front, by the way. Every last checkup that I've gone to, they said everything has looked good, and I've been, look, I even have long sleeves on right now, and that's okay because I'm protecting my skin and I'm getting out exercising and gardening and enjoying myself very much. And I hope you guys are enjoying yourself, and I will see you probably next week sometime. All right, happy gardening, everybody. I hope you're enjoying the spring so far.